What is up everyone, Barricade here and bring guys a Gears 5 discussion video. I feel like I have to be honest with you guys. There's been a few things crossing my mind when it comes to this game, and it kind of makes me worry about the future of this franchise, to be honest, when it comes to Gears 5 as a whole. I feel like, to be 100% honest, that the Coalition is not taking into account what their fans want, and they simply just shell out content that we really don't want, and just kind of have the attitude of it's this way or the highway. And it's really sad to see, because throughout the series, the original trilogy, the game was always a big love letter to fans. It always was something to where everyone wanted to play it because it was super fun. When Gears 3 first came out, I was so addicted to that game because it was overall a great experience for campaign, horde, multiplayer, and even the beast mode at that time. And it had so much content that just made me come back more and more and more to this game. But with Gears 5, like I mentioned in my review, it is horribly lacking in terms of multiplayer, roster for characters, and just longevity, just overall. Because the one thing that I always used to say about Gears 3 is, because I know I always reference back to Gears 3, but that was always will be the pinnacle of the series to me, in my personal opinion, when it comes to just how good the game was. So I always refer back to Gears 3 when I think of the best Gears of War game. And the thing that I always said about Gears of War, whether it was me playing multiplayer in Gears 2 or even Gears 3, was that the game itself was so fun and it felt so rewarding that it had extreme longevity. I was literally playing Gears 3 4 years after it came out, and I still played it because I loved playing it with my friends. We enjoyed it. We had so much fun. And, when it came to characters, unlocking characters, playing multiplayer, horde, everything. But with Gears 5, once again, it is horribly lacking. When the game first came out, the roster, a big chunk of it is just simply guest characters. And when, at first I kind of, I'll let that go, I'll let that slide. Let's see what happens as they, come out with more content for the game. Now we get Operation 1's pack with the ROM character, the Warden, the DB, the COG gear, etc. And that felt almost, really bad to see, because they handled that poorly, really bad, because the characters themselves, to be 100% honest, the characters themselves are fine. I love COG gear. I really wish it was this Carmine. I don't know why they went the way of a COG gear, but I really did, like the design of it. Reminds me a lot of Carmine. I don't know why the hell they don't just release a Carmine character, but whatever. I'll let that part slide. Rom looks amazing. I already had him because of the challenges from Gears 4, but it still felt cool to have that character now. The game unlocked it automatically for me since I already did the challenges from Gears 4. And the Warden and all the other characters look pretty, they look cool. They look awesome. They're not bad characters. But the major thing that makes me feel really annoyed about this whole process is the fact that, why did they build the totem system? I feel like the totem system is a horrible idea. And it feels almost like a big way to try to convince people to just buy the character. Because if you notice that every single challenge that you have to do for the characters, they're pretty grindy. You have to play a lot. Like, it's going to take a while to unlock just one of these characters. And instead of putting it to where you can just, earn the challenges all at the same time for each character, you have to equip the totem, earn that character, add another totem, earn that character. And it just feels like a gigantic chore, just horrible. That's just the best way to describe it. It's a horrible grind fest, and it almost feels like they do it to deter people from trying to earn the characters and to just buy them. And it feels very anti-consumer, like I mentioned in my other videos where I said that their practices feel very, very anti-consumer. And then alongside of it, with them making these characters, and make them very grindy, they release a new Terminator pack. And I just don't know how to respond to that. I'm just sitting there thinking, why? Why? And I understand they're trying to do for marketing purposes and things like that, whatever. But the thing is, these characters are horrible to the extent that they don't even let them be used in tournaments. They don't even like to use these Terminator characters in full-on tournaments. And it shows why, because of the fact that these characters are extremely spongy. They're hard to see sometimes when you're dark areas. You just see a freaking steel character running at you. And sometimes they can be mistaken as COG characters because of the fact that they look human. There has been a few times where I've seen a Terminator while playing as a COG and thinking, oh wait, that might be like, I don't know, a Coggy or something. They're at the corner of my eye, I'm not paying attention, and then boom, I die. And I'm just sitting there thinking, why the hell does this character exist in this game? And and I know that might sound more of like a me problem than, developer standpoint or the game problem, but overall these characters do not belong in the game. That's just the main thing I want to say. And they're extremely spongy to the extent that, once again, they don't want to be used in tournaments. But they allow them to be used all the time in multiplayer. So it's just overall a big insult that we want these classic characters. We want characters from Delta Squad. We want Carmine. We want Anya. We want, I can go on and on all about the characters that we want and the things that we want in this game. But they keep shelling out stuff that we don't want and charging us a lot of money for it. And it just feels like a big insult to the fans of the series. Like, it really does. And I'm starting to feel like I'm losing interest in this game, to be 100% honest with you guys. Like, I will still play it. Don't get me wrong. I will still play it. I'll still make content of the Gears of War series. I'm not going to close my channel or anything because I still love the lore. And I still have a lot of comics to cover. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about in the lore thing. And I even have a few other ideas for my fan fiction stories. So I'm going to keep going on because I love this series as a whole for the story, at the very least. But when it comes to the multiplayer aspect, it seems to be handled horribly. And it's just really sad to see because they just, once again, making these characters that we don't want, the characters that we do somewhat want and want to earn, they make them extremely grindy. Put them behind a totem system where we can only earn one character at a time, and just make it feel like it's going to take so long to get this character that we're probably better off just buying the character, is what it almost feels like, because it really is just a gigantic waste of time. And also, the major thing I want to touch up on is also still the fact that this iron system, when it comes to purchasing cosmetics, is still horrible. They haven't really improved it at all. And I just really want to say simply that it is horrible because of the fact that they're charging Fortnite prices for a game that we already paid for. And the thing is, I'll be honest with you, if this game ran perfectly and was extremely fun, I would probably feel more content with paying these prices. But the game does not run well. There's been a lot of times where the game has a lot of downtimes. There's been a lot of times where the game doesn't run well in combat. I don't know how many times I've seen so many people with extremely high pings in this game. And then alongside all of these technical problems, the game doesn't work very well when it comes to ranked as well. I've seen a lot of people complaining in comment sections and in Gears posts, and all they're simply saying is that they'll win matches, or they'll even at least lose matches but still do extremely well, and the game will de-rank them. And that's horrible. How I can understand maybe if they lost, but there's been a lot of people stating that they've won, did everything right, and then they still de-rank. Why? Is your ranking system so bad that it can't even tell that someone did well, or what the hell is going on here? And me personally, I'm not a sweaty tryhard. I play the game. I'm pretty good at it. I've been playing this series for a long time. I win most of my matches. I go, positive and KDs, etc. But I'm not someone that sits there and tries to get the highest rank. I'm not Mr. Diamond 5. I'll admit. I play the game from time to time. But for the people that are really competitive and want to rank up, and you're punishing these players for doing well, that's horrible. And it makes no sense. And the thing that just feels really bad overall is I feel like the Coalition is extremely out of touch with their fans in terms of what they want, how to make the game run well, and just are pushing out these horrible business practices with these cosmetics and characters that I feel like could be really bad for the franchise overall. And I'm not saying this to hate on the game or talk shit or be mad or whatever. I'm ranting because of the fact that I love this series a lot. And for the past month or so that the game's been out, it has not been what it needs to be. And it makes me worry about the future of this franchise, because if they keep going this route, the game's going to lose a lot of interest pretty dang fast. And I don't want it to. I want it to be the series that I've loved for so long. I want it to be that level of hype and epicness that I've always loved about this series. and it really isn't living up to what it needs to be. But overall, guys, I'm just gonna keep playing the game for now. If they keep doing bad ideas, bad practices, I may drop the game, to be 100% honest. But I just wanted to kind of rant and give my true opinion about the game so far. I've kind of been kind of quiet about it, but I feel like I finally need to speak up and say what I'm really thinking. Because as a person that's been loving this series since 2008, read the comics, read the novels, made so many lore videos, talked about it, made a fan fiction story about it, I feel like I need to be honest here. This game's a chore. They really need to see what fans want, and they need to really implement that, or they'll lose their fans. Simple as that. If you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button and subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about Gears 5 so far in terms of multiplayer, cosmetics, characters, everything of that nature. And do you feel like it needs to be improved? If you feel like you agree with me, share this video. Share it to Gears pages, share it to the Gears Twitter, for all I care. Share it everywhere that any Gears fan could possibly see it. And see if they agree, because I feel like it really needs to be talked about, and I feel like not too many people are. Once again, guys, if you guys like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so anytime I make a video, you guys can be notified. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see any of my other content, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.